two things that need to play out well for Delta. One is he's already starting off strong, picking a good map with a high ceiling. One of the things that a lot of people talk about with Chalkers is how easily you can take people off the top. But guess what? This ceiling is really high. As long as Delta doesn't start from a soft platform, he's in a good spot. Second, utilize those anti-airs. A lot of Chakram players are going to use those aerials. They'll use a lot of down-aired approach, kind of like that. But as long as Delta's using his own anti-airs, I think he'll do a lot better in this matchup. Yeah, and I would say notably to your point, I know a lot of Brawlhalla players don't like playing tri-plat stages in general, but the fact that there isn't a top center platform there has got to be huge for the Chakram game plan. So let's see what happens. That's just a dare that misses off the side. AmGG in a really bad spot already with the double pogo, and this might be first stock. No, okay, gets around it. Yeah, Delta couldn't quite find the timing for that third one. Good recovery, and that is going to disarm AmGG, but the down sig held a little too long. That's an easy KO. Okay. Was able to pick up the downlight off the sidelight. Yeah, and KO's off the top. I mean, don't really matter if you're getting it a little bit later with that spear. You still find your conversions regardless. So good start for Delta. Let's see if AmGG can answer back without too much damage of a deficit. Yeah, definitely a rough spot already, though. AmGG struggling to build up this damage. We saw some kind of shades of the classic Chakram play with those down airs, but actually, like, missing a lot of these attacks. Finally gets in there, gets the neutral light, but the finisher couldn't read. Yeah, and that's the big thing, right? I think with this, what appears to be kind of smaller range of the Chakram, what are your real openers to convert into KOs? AmGG just finds it off of raw recovery. Doesn't get too much more after that, though. And I mean, even in the red, I feel like Delta seems kind of comfortable on this stage. Good dodging here. Got it. Oh, not enough. Not enough. That's that high ceiling that I'm talking about. A lot of times, Chakram players go for this vertical. You're seeing these recoveries. Ground pound not going to connect, and you're seeing AmGG struggle a little bit, especially because he's still on the split. There you're seeing swap to the fuse for the finishing blow. AmGG able to tie things up. Didn't take too much damage for it either. Right, and it seems like by and large, most of the Chakram players we've seen so far, and you can correct me if I'm wrong on this, appear to like split form a lot more than the fused form, right? Like you needed to kind of desperation fuse there to find the KO, because look at the two recoveries from that first stock that didn't get the KO thanks to that stage selection you brought up. Yeah, there's definitely a mentality thing, I think, across the board for Brawlhalla players of like, if I just keep doing thing that does damage, eventually it'll KO. And so they're going for the safer option with the split version, but you're seeing Delta throw out the down stick, starting to take a lot of damage here. AmGG finding his footing. Yeah, once again, though, those down air connections are just not finding their mark for AmGG. Do we go to fused here? Oh, the mix-up, but it's not. It just disarmed. High ceiling again. It's overhyped. I get it. It's overhyped. See me in game 2. Never mind. It's so good. It's so good. I love it. AmGG takes the lead right back. Pretty undamaged on that stock also. It really felt like was totally in control for that stock. Yeah, I feel like Delta's really lost his steam. He got the first stock and then maybe relaxed a little bit too much. He's definitely been stuck on this bow against AmGG, which is not the best thing you want. A lot of times bow likes to catch people's landings. Guess what? Chakram, kind of hard to catch the landing of because that down air can help him stay in the air. Absolutely. Okay, let's see if the swap comes through. They jockey for position around the weapon, but once again, just climbing all the way towards that top blast zone. Not able to get it quite yet. Over to the spear, not able to hit with that sidelight. AmGG finding more and more damage, the weapon toss. And you're seeing the stalls come out from AmGG with those downers. He could go so far. But Delta does manage to close it out with that unarmed sidelight. Last stock here, Delta just kind of in light orange so far. Nothing too critical quite yet. Spear, I think, is the preferred matchup to the point that you brought up earlier, Duke. So let's see what happens here. Gets the pickup. Back to split Chakram once more. Okay, good pogo. Ooh, yep. Nice. Gonna challenge with the ground pound. AmGG fights his way back up. Uh-oh, this could be bad. The dare. Perfect opener of AmGG. No! Let it rock too hard. Okay, AmGG gets the reversal out of it. But again, yeah, fusing back just to try to get a little bit more of a push off towards that right blast zone. It's still not enough, though. Yeah, it seems like as far as fused goes, that's just AmGG's finisher, right? He'll go in with that sidelight and then go for that downlight to fuse back up and get that big swing. Good dodge through. How did that miss? What? You know, all about the dodge timing. Delta, though, is unarmed. He needs to get more damage. Okay, picks up the bow. Slowly clawing this damage lead back, but again, I think D-Light into just a fuse signature might just be enough to just get the stock at this point, especially from towards one of the blast zones. Actually, it's just recovery off the top. And yeah, I mean, Chakram's good. Chakram, they might be a little good. Maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit. Hey, I mean, I think to your point though, right? Like, Western Air Temple was a really good, or
Was it Mos Eisley or Western Air Temple that we went to? But
that was Western Air Temple, but I don't like the pick that we just went to.
I was going to say, yeah, because I was like, I think what you said from a macro level is really good, right? Like, we saw Chakram split recovery kind of be a complete non-factor in that game, right? Having to resort to the bad fused version. It's not that bad, but it did get the job done for AmGG at least.
And now we're going over to Small World's End, and this is what I was talking about. Like, this is kind of the complete opposite. Really low ceiling, and that means that's going to be a serious threat for Delta. Yes, Delta can also go for his own vertical KOs, but seriously, this is a bigger advantage to AmGG.
No shot, bro. What? Okay, listen, I know there's some people who weren't in the pre-show. We need to have a difficult conversation about Chakram. After I saw that, I just, like, vomited in my mouth a little bit seeing that string. He might do it again. That's insane.
Delta able to dodge out of that one. Again, AmGG, he's just sticking to the Chakram game plan. He's got that Oko. He can go off the top. All he needs to do is get that opener.
And this is just such a complete night and day difference between game number 1. That's a disarm, recovery as well, and the weapon starve. AmGG is just making the most out of a good situation here.
I think that's the first signature we've seen from AmGG as well. Hits the down air, goes in for the recovery, and AmGG, he's pretty untouched on this first stock.
I mean, very close game 1 into dominant 3 stock. I think stages are going to be a huge factor, at least while you're trying to feel out this new weapon. What the big difference maker is between games 1 and 2 is look how many openers with the dares we're getting out of AmGG. It's just converting into so much damage.
Yeah, his down airs are starting to connect a lot more. You're seeing him get down onto Delta with the down air. Delta with the swap over to the bow. Trying to throw out more neutral sigs.
Okay, not too much. I mean, Delta, work cut out. And I agree with you, Duke. I think bow is probably not the preferred matchup for this. So you want to see maybe the spear come out, but you're just running out of runway, especially when you read the dodge patterns like that.
AmGG actually went for a mix-up there. Ended up finishing that one with a side air, which sends Delta further away. Might not matter. Delta still can't finish this first stock, and AmGG's chasing out there. Delta, does he have the movement?
Oh, shake my hand, bro. Shake my hand. AmGG. Oh my gosh, 2-0 over Delta? This is 2 upsets in a row.
With the 3 stock as well, dude. AmGG, I think we're starting to see why AmGG is currently here with the upsets.
465 damage done to 177 taken. Obviously, that is a product of a 3 stock that happened, right? But come on, I'm just thinking from the side of, that almost seems kind of low for damage for a 3 stock. How efficiently AmGG was able to get those stocks is just astonishing to me.
It's insane. And you also play back that first stock where I don't even think they got into the red. It was just AmGG going up into the sky and being like, "What's up? You're gone." Yeah. So I think there's a lot of decisions Delta has to make. I think more so than you'll see from other people in these matchups, right? Like, a lot of times you'll see people be like, "Oh, maybe I don't like tri-platform because Axe is kind of better," or "Oh, they can do spear downlight on the soft platform." But here, I think very seriously, you have to think about, okay, what has the highest ceiling of the maps that are left on the pool, and then start seriously thinking about, okay, what character has the anti-airs that I'm most comfortable with to help take away this airspace from Chakram.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I also think that the dare, as we look to strike for game number 3, was a complete non-factor in game number 1 for AmGG. And even look at the outcome of that. He still won with the Priya. It's crazy to see how this new legend has just been making crazy, crazy waves already in these brackets. But I think if I'm in your position, based on what we described here, I would go back to Western Air Temple. I wouldn't strike it.
Well, he did leave Western Air Temple on the board. That was Delta banning out all the maps, and AmGG pick. He went for either Western Air Temple, Demon Island, or Fortress of Lions, and ended up going to Demon Island here for game number 3. Delta, a swap to the Classic. It's going to be the Taros. That Axe downlight going to be a strong tool for Delta, but might be in trouble if he gets stuck on the hammer.
So I do actually think this is a pretty good stage, and leaving Western Air Temple plus this as 2 of the 3 options to go to is pretty solid for Delta, because there's just no soft platforms, period, right? So you have to get AmGG crashing down on top of you with that dare, like we just saw right there. But now that Delta's on the Taros, you can kind of play a little bit of the sharking game.
Yeah, he definitely needs to do that ground control against AmGG and then hit him at those 45s. Because, again, that down air, yeah, you've got a lot of drift with it, but at the end of the day, it's just an up and down attack.
Yeah, and I think, again, that anti-air is just so perfect to the angles AmGG wants to approach in if we're initiating specifically with split chakram dare. So let's see if it happens a little bit more. Tries to slide off with the stomp, not getting too much more after that.
Uh-oh. He just kind of stood there and took it. Didn't expect AmGG to gravity cancel sidelight in his face, and now AmGG with the stage control. Delta burning a lot of movement, does get the wall touch. AmGG going to swap positions, but not getting hit by any of the hammer stuff from Delta.
Yeah, I'm shocked there was no punish from either side there, but let's see. Okay, Sair comes out. Gonna at least disarm. The weapon throw misses, though. That's a pretty rough position for Delta to be in, but snags the item away in time. Yeah, and I wonder, we really haven't seen much in the way of AmGG's sword play yet, so let's see. Maybe it should just be as simple as just finding the recovery at this point.
Yep, and there it is. Downlight recovery. That'll finish it off. I really expect a lot of the Priyas that we're going to see to kind of lean into the chakrams, obviously, but then if they're on the sword, it's pretty much just for the finisher. Down Sig will KO.
Work.
Good punish there from Delta. Knows that you're kind of stuck there if you whiff the sidelight.
Yeah, and I think already, even though Delta is playing slightly from behind in this game 3, I like the legend swap here, right? You talked about playing those hard 45s, making sure that you can just play the anti-air, shark out when you need to. It's working for the most part. You cannot get caught like this, though.
Yeah, can't let him get too much damage there. Another thing that works really well for...
Oh, my...
Okay. He's like, I'm glad AmGG ran out of jumps, because that's what happened there. AmGG started sweat beating. He's like, I couldn't go any higher. Sorry,
thank goodness. He's out of resources. I can't believe it. Okay, can Delta make their way back, though, into this? Just playing slightly from behind in terms of damage, but you can patrol around for the weapon, maybe try to look for a disarm. Once again, I mean, the name of the game is wait for someone to burn the jump, wait for someone to burn the dodge, and I feel like Chakram gets to go to complete work after that.
Oh.
Got it.
How do you avoid that, man? That signature covered pretty much every option Delta had in that spot, unless he wanted to dodge down and just send himself to the ground instead.
And once again, this is last stock for Delta potentially in the winner's side of this bracket. AmGG with the Priya could be making a second upset today, staying in the winner's side.
That was a really good dodge down into a jump side air there, punishing AmG whiffing on that side air of his own. Delta able to keep this one closer. He has potential to get on the board.
Okay, back to the Chakram. Bit of a punish while we were splitting those back up, but Delta not getting too much more after that. Let's see how the offstage goes.
You know, you gotta hate your opponent when they're playing with their tools.
He's just playing in the sandbox right in front of me.
Come on.
Okay, AmGG, a grounded start here, extends into the dare once again, but not too much more after that. Still in advantage state, though, importantly.
Fortunate for Delta there. He got a down air of his own, but now he's taking so much punish, and the recovery from AmGG gives him the 3-0 over Delta. Another upset.
Can we see that clip? Is that what's here right now? Oh, we'll get it in a second. That last stock was gross, right? It was just like a bit of micro movement from Delta inwards, which connected the dare, which ended all of it.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
I mean, and that's something that you kind of kept pointing out is like, once Delta makes the slightest mistake, burns one resource too many,